Get the whole Young Turks 3-hour show by going to theyoungturks.com. If you become a member, you get the whole show, plus a very fun post-game show as well. See you there. All right, welcome to the Young Turks. Fun show ahead for you guys today. We have a definitive conclusion on healthcare. Wow, that's big news. I'm going to start with small news instead because I make a lot of big ones. I make a lot of little ones. But is healthcare going to pass? Yes or no? We have the answer today. What are you going to do? Not tune in and find out which side after all this time? Okay, just calm down. We'll get to it soon. All right, but first I'd like to start perfectly random. I don't tell you this story because it's important. I tell you because I'm amused by it. You know how we had Jesse Ventura on the program yesterday, and he's got his book, American Conspiracies, etc., right? So we took a little piece of that interview, and we put it up in a couple of different places, and one of them is Daily Kos. So if you've been following this show and my antics on Daily Kos and the people that respond to me, you might know what's coming. Oh, I got a total HR on the CT on the DK. I didn't know how did I not see that coming? I was like, and every time I have no idea. I almost don't want to find out because I'm so amused by the code words I don't understand. I almost respond to the several people who wrote this. Speak English. I don't know what you're saying. Right? They're like, oh, how do you try to do a CT on the DK here? Such an obvious HR. I'm like, what is that? What are you talking about? I finally figured out CT is conspiracy theory. So DK is Daily Kos. So on Daily Kos, you can't have conspiracy theories. Okay, first of all, I'm not the one with the conspiracy theory. I thought it was an interesting part of the interview, and I'm sharing it with you. Did I say that I agree with everything Ventura said? Not even close. That John Lennon getting killed by the CIA, I mean, that borders on cuckoo for a certain kind of cereal. Okay, I don't know nothing about it. I mean, I wouldn't want to pull a CT on the TYT, right? I still don't know what an HR is, and like I said, I don't think I want to know. But anyway, so we have struggled through that at the old DK and see how it works out for us. Okay, so go and give me don't give me an HR. I don't think that's good. Give me something else that's good. Give me a TJ, a little recommend in the tip jar. All right, fun for everybody, fun. All right, now, we're not the only ones having fun with Jesse Ventura. Glenn Beck, he's having fun with Jesse, too, in a different kind of way. Curious, interesting take on the former governor of Minnesota. Let's go to clip number 10.
I understand the point. I think people get very fired up about the census. I don't particularly understand why it's as big an issue as it is.
Because it never, you know what, I heard Jesse Ventura, what a dope this guy is. I heard Jesse Ventura, who's nothing but a big, fat, dumb bully, and trust me, I know. He tried to intimidate me in the makeup room one day before a CNN show, and he's just a bully. He's big, he's dumb, he's slow.
He's definitely a big, dumb animal.
And he is a bully. That's it. And you watch. Now that I've said that, he'll... You want a piece of me? I'll take and rip your head off, dude. He's a big, dumb bull. He's a wrestler. Now,
I think there's some smart wrestlers. He's just not one of them.
He's not one of them. Mm-hmm. So here's Jesse Ventura, and I'm listening to his clown show this morning on Fox and Friends. And he's talking about, where were these people, these Tea Party people, 10 years ago? When the right to habeas corpus was suspended.
He really said that. What a dope.
They weren't worried about it because they didn't know anybody whose writ of habeas corpus was suspended.
Look, and here's the problem.
Come on.
Are you saying, that's like saying, my second grader claims that he could do division. Now that he's in the 4th or 5th grade, where was he in kindergarten?
I just like the voice.
I'm not sure I understood the analogy.
Here it is.
Did you get it?
Most people didn't wake up to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're saying that if you didn't know 10 years ago we were in trouble, you got no right to speak out. Jeez. It wasn't a problem 10 years ago with the census, big, slow dummy. Because we still had a modicum of trust for our government because they hadn't screwed us 6 ways to Sunday yet.
That was awesome in so many ways because they keep calling him a dummy when that is Ventura's best point by far. And he's making an educated point about, hey, taking away habeas corpus is so much more important than any vague 10th Amendment constitutional arguments you've got right now. Do you know what the habeas corpus is? And of course, Beck has no idea. And then his little sidekick says, oh, do you know anyone who got their habeas corpus rights taken away? I mean, if it happened to a bunch of Muslims, does that really count? Bunch of idiots, man. Habeas corpus is the cornerstone of Western civilization. Okay? Who knows what habeas corpus is? Ventura's such a dummy. That's awesome. And then, of course, he's like, oh, he's just a wrestler. Leaving out the fact that he was the governor of a state. But my favorite part is he's such a bully. He's such a bully. You know what that means? Ventura was challenged Beck and was like, hey, you know, they had some sort of debate or whatever behind the scenes off camera. And Beck got scared. I mean, why else would he call him a bully? Did he bully you, Glenn? Did he take your lunch? Did he take your pocket change?
Bitch.
Don't get that started yet, man. Don't get that started. So that's for later in the show. We're gonna have fun with that. There's been a cock injection. No, it's too good. But that's later in the program. Don't get me started. Okay. And then finally, Glenn Beck's like, well, of course we weren't complaining about the Constitution 10 years ago when we had a modicum of trust in our government. Well, color you stupid. Yeah, in other words, it was a Republican government, so you didn't say anything. Thank you. All right, anyway, and that was, of course, about 9 years ago now when that started. So, now, let's move from one right-wing clown to another. This ought to be good. Rush Limbaugh says if health care reform passes, he's going to leave the country. Thereby, for the first time, making me excited about the possibility that health care reform might pass. But he's going to say something awesomely stupid while making his point. So let's go to clip number 9 here.
Two-part question for you regarding health care. If the health care bill passes, where would you go for health care yourself? And the second part of that is associated with it is what happens to the doctors? Do they have to participate in the federal program, or can they opt out of it?
Well, in the first place, none of that's going to happen for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I understand that, but if it does, what happens to the doctors? Are they going to be forced into a federal program?
Yes. There's going to be the only people providing insurance.
Where then would you go for health care?
Where would I go for health care?
Yeah, if the private doctors have to go into the federal program.
My guess is even in Canada and even in the UK, doctors have opted out. And once they opt out, they can't see anybody, Medicare, Medicaid, or what will become the exchanges. They have to have a clientele of private patients that will pay them a retainer, and it's going to be a very, very small practice. Now, I don't know if that has been outlawed in the Senate bill.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll just tell you this. If this passes and it's 5 years from now and all that stuff gets implemented, I am leaving the country. I'll go to Costa Rica.
Yeah, two-part question for you regarding health care.
Oh, you're going to leave the country? That's awesome! All right, let's go, Obama. Let's go get him. All right, now here's the fun, stupid part. Costa Rica has nationalized health care. I go to Costa Rica. Well, you know, he's not that wrong on the quality of service he'd get in Costa Rica. Average life expectancy is higher in Costa Rica than it is in the United States, which is unbelievable, right? And their income is about 1/10 per capita of the United States income. 1/10. Yet their healthcare system is excellent and by some measures outperforms ours. Why? Nationalized health care. And that's not just nationalized insurance or a public option or Medicare buy-in. No, that's weak sauce. Nationalized health care. So it would be rather ironic if you left the U.S. and went to Costa Rica for their private medical system. Now, by the way, they do have private options as well in Costa Rica, and that relates to his earlier point. And the poor schlep who's calling in and saying, Rush, are they going to take my doctor away? Where would it go? And Rush goes, oh, absolutely, they're going to take your doctor away. Except I don't know if that's been outlawed, because it hasn't. Of course it hasn't been outlawed that you can't see your doctor if you're on private insurance if this thing passes. First of all, the public option is not even in it. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. It's the same exact system as you had before. But Rush and his listeners are not that attached to reality. There is, one of our listeners, Tony Daughtry, wrote in with a good point here. He's the first one to point that out before the rest of the blogs even caught on to it. The fact that Costa Rica has nationalized health care. And he added something else. Costa Rica does have something Rush is interested in. You know that Rush is rumored to partake in sexual tourism, as they say. You know how he goes with his gallon of Viagra to some Central American countries, and then he went to Dominican Republic once. Costa Rica, apparently fairly well known for sexual tourism. Take your gallon of Viagra and head on over there, Rush. Nobody will bother you, man. You take those OxyContins, you take those Viagras, nationalized health care in case you have one of those fake heart attacks again, you'll be all set. Fun for everybody. All right, look, let's take a quick break. Let's come back and tell you if Rush actually has to leave the country. Is health care reform going to pass? We have the answer, Young Turks. All right, let's inject some cock in the butts.
Okay. 6 women in New Jersey are recovering after they had butt enhancements that were faulty.
That were filled with?
With caulk.
Caulk. All right, let's show you a news story that explains them, and then we'll have fun.
Kim Kardashian has it, and she's proud of it, as she recently told our Kat Greenleaf.
People always talk about your figure, your derriere. How does it feel to be known for your body parts?
It's kind of flattering, It could be worse, right? It could be known for awful body parts.
Having a healthy-sized derriere is so popular, it drove Mexican superstar singer Alejandra Guzman to get surgery to enhance her buttocks. But it was done by an unlicensed practitioner and went horribly wrong, sending her to the hospital. And that's exactly what's happening to women now in New Jersey. The New Jersey Health Department is now trying to get the word out about someone who's offering to enhance people's rear ends by using an injection that includes, believe it or not, caulk.
Have you ever heard of caulk being used in someone's body before?
Yeah, we've heard anecdotally from like years ago, as well as even recently, about caulk being used. So it seems like it's a practice that's out there.
So far, 6 women have been hospitalized for infection after getting the caulk-filled shots. 5 live in Essex County, 1 in Union County, and they're reportedly all Hispanic.
Back in our countries, the culture is a little more different. We're not used to checking our doctors. So people are trying to save some money, not knowing that they're risking their lives to begin with, but also, they're going to spend a lot more money.
The health department says these women all survived because they got quick medical attention. Authorities are now investigating. They hope to speak with at least one of the women soon. They say they will press criminal charges against whoever performed these procedures.
If anyone's interested in getting a cosmetic injection or a cosmetic procedure, that you do go to a medical care provider, a physician, to get some advice, get some good guidance about where to go to get these procedures done safely.
In Trenton, Linda Beccaro, New York Nightly News.
If anyone is thinking about getting a caulk-filled injection in your butt, make sure you do it from a doctor. So, that it's, of course, I'm a child, right? Right. The whole time I'm thinking this, right? And I was like, it can't, is it really pronounced caulk? Mm-hmm. Right? So I went to the dictionary, and they, online they have those pronunciations, right? So, JR, tell us how caulk is pronounced.
Caulk.
In fact, we're not even doing it right. It's more cock.
Caulk.
It's cock. It's cock.
No, that's caulk versus
Cock.
Oh, then do it again.
Cock.
and
Cock.
It's either caulk or cock.
One is cock, the other one is cock.
Cock.
That's awesome. But I love that they did that story with a straight face. They're like, it turns out what it's filled with is cock. And it goes into the butt. It's awesome. I mean, how do you beat that story? That's like the greatest story of all time. Okay, now, other interesting parts of the story is, if you're going to get plastic surgery, look, I got issues with plastic surgery to begin with, but you're telling me you're going to get it with someone who is not a doctor? Are you insane? And then you're surprised that they filled your ass with cock.
Booty.
Go to a doctor, man. If you can get your booty filled, go to a doctor. And by the way, Jesus, they threw your culture under the bus there. What was that? In our Latino culture, we are cheap and don't like to go to the doctor. We like to get cock-filled injections. I'm like, what is that? What? That's not right.
Ass.
That pronunciation thing is awesome.
We're going to have too much fun with this. Give me one more.
Bitch.
All right.
Bitch. Ass.
You know, the funny thing is, that day they actually had to do it. There are real people who do that. So they're like, okay, next word in the dictionary. And they get paid, you know, by the word or by the hour. They're like, okay, next up is ass. And she has to, like, she probably got it wrong a couple of times. And then they're like, okay, no, again, ass.
Oh
Motherfucker.
No! Come on! That's not in the dictionary, is it? Oh, hit me with that one more time.
Motherfucker.
Oh, they had a good time that day. All right. That's all. That story was nothing but. All right. What's next?
Okay, Lindsay Lohan is suing E-Trade for $100,000 because she feels that they used her name in their Super Bowl commercial. We have their Super Bowl commercial right now, so let's show it and then we'll discuss it.
So, yeah, sorry about last night.
I just don't understand why you didn't call.
Yeah, well, I was on E-Trade, you know, diversifying my portfolio, taking control like a wolf.
Right.
What's that? That's volatility in the market. Taken care of. Wolf style. Oh.
And that milkaholic Lindsay wasn't over?
Lindsay?
Milka what?
Build a diversified portfolio at E-Trade.
Listen, whenever they use the babies, especially in the Super Bowl ads, right? It's a little like, okay, here we go, more talking babies, right? But by the end, they reeled me in.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, Milka, what? I was like, all right, that's funny. Now, Lindsay has an addiction problem, Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
Her lawyers claim that she's mainly known as Lindsay. So obviously this was a reference to Lindsay Lohan being a milkaholic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Agree or disagree?
I disagree. I think that they just happened to use the name Lindsay. I don't think that they were trying to dig at Lindsay Lohan, personally. I saw that commercial several times after the Super Bowl, and I didn't think of Lindsay Lohan at all. That's the last thing that came to my mind.
Right.
So I don't think Lindsay Lohan actually believes that they're doing this to dig at her. I think that she's found the perfect moment to become relevant again.
Yeah, one, it's trying to grab attention. Two, she's suing what, for like $18 million or something?
No, $100 million.
Oh, right, of course. Okay, look, if I had any inclination of supporting her, it just flew out the window and she sued for $100 million. The other thing it tells me is there's some chance she's totally out of money and needs more coke.
Yes,
that's
true.
So she's like, I don't know, let's sue for $100 million and see if we can grab $1 million. That'll last me a couple of months, you know? And look, even if they meant it, that it was a slight dig at Lindsay, who cares?
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Yeah, and you're a public figure. What, they can't take a shot at you? What, that's
Bullshit.
crazy. What was that?
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm with JR on this one. Bullshit. Not buying it. Not buying it at all. And by the way, it's like, look, if they use Jenk randomly in a commercial, okay, they probably meant me. Okay? Although, that'll be the day, right? But Lindsay is a fairly common name.
Exactly.
No, not buying it at all. That's crazy talk.
By the way, she's suing for pain and suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's hilarious.
Oh, come on.
Pain and suffering because of that commercial, please.
So when she saw the baby go, Milka, what? She was like, oh, pain, oh, suffering. Is that little baby me? Oh, get the fuck out of here, Lindsay. How awesome would it be if the judges were like the TYT Supreme Court? She comes in and I'm like, instantly. She's like, and then I thought, Milka, what? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Okay? What do you get? You get dick. Go. Get out. Scat. That would be fun. I still think we should get that judge show.
Yeah, we definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
Our Supreme Court is the best Supreme Court out there.
We'll take out any Supreme Court, okay? Yeah, I'm looking at you, John Roberts. What are you going to do about it? We just threw down right in front of you, okay? You want to step to it? No, I didn't think so, punk. Jared, that's what you're supposed to give me, bitch. There's too many of them, right? That's the problem. All right, what's next?
All right, an 8th grade boy in Massachusetts was caught selling his girlfriend's naked pictures, pictures that she sexted him for $5 a pop. So now, of course, he's in a lot of trouble and faces child pornography charges. And I'm sure she's going to face those child pornography charges as well.
Since she's the one who sent it and then hence disseminated it. Yeah, okay. No.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Okay. One, don't do it. Don't spread around your girlfriend's naked pictures for $5 a pop. It's a bad idea. It's going to come back to bite you. Number 2, this ain't child pornography. That's crazy. Okay? The kid's an 8th grader. If he was like a pervy 40-year-old, then yeah, all right, now that we're having a conversation. Look, you know, he obviously shouldn't do it, but he's an 8th grader. He probably thought it was a smart thing, you know? He's like, look, I'm making $5 a pop on this. 1, I got to see, you know, the hoochie. 2, I got to be a star among my friends because I'm showing them. 3, I made some money off of it. I mean, you know, you say child pornographer, I say capitalist.
Oh, you're insane.
Okay,
he's profiting off of nude images of a minor. So yes, it's child pornography. It doesn't matter if he's 40. It doesn't matter if he's 50. It doesn't matter if he's 10.
Nah, crazy. No way. It totally matters. It totally matters. He's a kid. He doesn't know.
So what does that mean? He doesn't face any consequences?
No.
That's the question here. Should he or should he not face consequences?
No, of course. We don't live in a black and white world of you know, Republicans. No, it's shades of gray. So what I mean by that is, should he face consequences for doing that? Of course he should. If he obviously gets suspended, maybe even get expelled, right? I mean, it's a terrible thing. Imagine if it's your daughter. No, terrible, right? Can't have it. Can't play with it. I already played you the clip. Singletary already weighed in on it. But it doesn't mean it's child porn, and he should do 20 years in prison for doing.
No, and of course he's not going to do 20 years in prison. He's like what, probably 13 years old or something.
I know, but I wouldn't send him to prison. That's crazy. I think that's crazy. I'm okay. I mean, I'm gonna need some backup on this. I don't know, Jr. I mean, is it child porn or is just look? He broke the rules, school rules, suspension, expulsion, whatever.
Yeah, I don't see his child. I didn't think we were gonna have this argument. I don't think it's his child porn, obviously because of his age. Just like, you know, if you have a 16-year-old kid sleeps with his 15-year-old girlfriend in high school, there are a couple of kids that are, I think, shouldn't be doing that. But he's not rape or a statutory rape. The kid's 16 years old, you know?
Yeah.
Although we had a similar case where they screwed that up. But I don't know. The problem is I've heard you mention that she's going to be up on, is she going to be up on charges or do you think she should be?
Look, we don't, based on what we know about this story right now, we don't know if she's going to face any charges, but there have been stories in the past and cases in the past where the young girl who sent out the nude images of herself faced child pornography charges because she created and distributed those images.
Yeah, I think it's overkill.
Oh, that's way overkill. And then look, and it hasn't happened yet. Just to be clear on that. But you know the zero tolerance policies, that's next, right? So she's going to be in a world of trouble at school because of the zero tolerance policy. Because everything's zero tolerance, everything, right? And it's like those kids in Canada who took the video picture of their teachers grinding. Teachers get in trouble, but then they got in trouble because they took video on their cell phones they weren't supposed to. Everything's zero. Is there ever what would it be? 1 tolerance? 2 tolerance? What is there any school left in the country or in the continent that doesn't do zero tolerance on every single issue? Right? So I don't know. But now back to this. Look, this is something that they used to deal with at the school level before. I think that's where it needs to stay. Okay? Sure, it should have serious consequences within the school level. And look, guys, if a girl trusts you and sends you a naked picture of herself, don't do her wrong. You're doing her massively wrong by sharing it with your friends. I know they're 8th graders, and so they're gonna giggle about it, etc. And girls, what are you doing? Don't send it. Don't send it. You know that in this story, they say that 1 out of 5 teenagers have sent naked pictures of themselves, have sexted. And look, I thought sexting was also like dirty talk or whatever, which then that's totally believable, right? But they say no, 1 out of 5 sent some sort of naked pictures over the phone. That's going to wind up on the internet. You nuts? At the very, very least, all of his friends will see it.
I know, and that's what the main problem is here. Like, what do we do to prevent people in kids in high school from doing this?
Well, you suspend or expel the kid. Okay, that's one part of it. The other thing is education. Talk to your kids. Like, I'm sure a lot of parents have no idea that their kids are taking pictures of their private parts and then texting it over. I mean, look, and that's on the parents.
Let me ask you something. If you had a child in high school right now, would you give him or her a cell phone?
You know, I don't want to be a tough guy on that because, like, everybody will say no, and then everybody gives it. And then there's always the excuse of, oh, what if they're, stuck in a closet somewhere? You know what I'm saying? You're going to lose that battle is my guess. Okay, so I'm not sure. But I would, look, you got to talk to them about responsibilities that come along with it. I mean, the first thing I'd tell them is anything you send over this machine can and will be used against you in a court of law. Okay, give them their Miranda warnings. Okay, because if you put it on the either through a mobile or online, if you put it out there, assume that everybody will see it. Like, I wish I talked to Eric Massa earlier, okay? Because if I had known that he was going to go in this direction. Because my internal thing is, if you're ever going to do something, like, can you justify it if you were called into a public hearing in front of Congress? Not that you're going to, right? But that's a good way of, like, should I do it or should I not do it? And so if it's something where I'm having fun and I'm drinking and I'm going crazy, I say, yeah, I'd go to Congress and say, fuck yeah, I drank. I drank a lot, okay? And I did this and I did that. But if it's something that you can't justify, even if you have my attitude of fuck yeah, right, then don't do it. Make sense? All right, one to grow on. We'll be right back.
1970-something, nigga, I don't sweat the day, my mom.
All right, back on the Young Turks. Lieutenant Godna is at Rebel headquarters. Lieutenant Godna, it's a pleasure. And then look at this, member number 2062, Javier Contreras. Joined up a while back, must have lost a spot and then came back. Well, Javier, we love that you came back. Javier Contreras. Okay. In the postgame show today, of course, members get the whole 3-hour show and the postgame show. You know how cell phones, should kids have cell phones? I have a personal story from my childhood as to why cell phones would have helped me tremendously when I was a kid. It's the kind of story that'll make you go, oh. Okay, so that's going to be fun. And we have more pictures. We promised this on Friday, but then Anna got sick and had to leave. We have more pictures of Anna's Jamaican trip, and that should be a ton of fun, and then some great stories. So let's go forward.
Okay, we have a bridal brawl in Michigan, all right? The bride was at the bridal store, and she became crazy because the owner of the store refused to alter her dress.
Well, obviously. I mean, if somebody doesn't alter your dress, the clear thing to do is to go apeshit. And that is apparently what has ensued here. So let's watch the local news report on it.
Village catches it all on tape.
a real-life bridezilla, but she's not on the rampage alone. Family members are called in to attack.
Apparently, these people do not know how to handle things in the United States. And they thought they were somewhere in Fallujah or in the mountains of, in Iraq mountains and so on.
Owner Hekmat Petrus says this all started last Tuesday after he refused to provide alterations for a bad-mouthing bride who bought a dress and became a nightmare to work with. He told her to take her business elsewhere.
She started threatening me. You don't know who I am. I call my husband to come and kill you. And we'll teach everybody here a lesson.
Right after the threats were made, they locked down the store and called police, but one of the wives was inside still, and when the men arrived, she opened the door and let them in. They came barreling in, and as you'll see from this tape, were clearly on a mission. Inside the store, packed with customers, the three men enter and confront the owner. They start pushing each other and throw the owner's son to the ground and begin to beat him. You can see one of the men then grabs the owner's wife, spits at her, and slaps her across the face. From another camera angle, the video shows a man grab the owner, shove him 40 feet into the showcase, and tackle him to the ground. The owner's son, now shirtless, is hit and shoved in the same direction. And it doesn't end there. The fists continue to fly, and the men pick up formally dressed mannequins and then use them as weapons.
They just attacked without notice. And we are not prepared for that. This is a clothing store. This is a clothing store. And we don't expect these kind of things to happen.
Police eventually intervene and arrest Namir Kostar, Nishan Petros, and Thamir Mikhail for assault. Petrus and his family say they suffered several injuries from the attack, and the damage from the melee estimated around $20,000. All because of a woman who wanted her wedding dress altered.
We've been in this business for the last 25 years. We never have anything like that.
And Petrus, who takes pride in his customer service, hopes it never happens again. In Lathrop Village, Taryn Asher, Fox News.
Man, did those guys look like goons. I mean, that was out of Central Casting, man. You couldn't get three dudes that looked that similar, that looked like thugs coming in like that. Man, when they came in, they're like boom, 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 boom. It was like out of a movie.
Riot.
All right. And everybody, calm down. If he doesn't want to alter your dress, go get it somewhere else. What are you getting all worked up over? But let's not lose track of the funniest part of that whole thing. When this guy's like, what do they think? This is the mountains of Iraq, Fallujah or something? Who are these guys? Now, it's in Michigan, so I assume he's doing some sort of Arab slur there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if those guys are Arabs or not, but I love that little dig, that nice little racial dig. He's like, I don't know if they think this is Fallujah. But Hekmat, I mean, I don't know where Hekmat's from, but, he's... I love how he's throwing stuff around. What do you think?
I originally thought the owner of the store was Armenian because Petrosian, usually, well, Petrosian is a very Armenian last name, right? But then I saw the spelling of Petros, and it's not. He's not.
And then
Armenian.
one of the guys who was attacking was like Petrus.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Petrus and Petros going on around there. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that also sounds a little Russian almost. Mm-hmm. In which case, I'm not sure I'd have called anybody. I'd have been like, hey, this is cool. It's cool. What do you need me to alter? Right? Those guys meant business when they came in. That was some old school gangster shit. Okay. Fun for everybody. Well, except the store owner. And his wife and his son. He's like, this is a clothing store. This is madness.
This is Sparta!
Great. That's crazy, dog. All right, anyway, what's next?
Okay, this is my favorite story of the day. There's a new business known as idumpforyou.com, and it was started by 35-year-old Bradley Laberman, okay? And basically what people do is they contact idumpforyou.com, and they pay about $10 to have this service dump their significant other for them.
Dude, that's cold, dog. That's super cold.
It gets worse.
Like, that turns the mountain blue on the Coors Light. That is some cold-ass shit.
It gets worse. So Bradley Laberman, the owner of this business, does the breaking up, right? And he records it.
Oh.
And he puts it up on YouTube.
Oh.
And we have a video for you guys.
Oh, deep freeze. Let's check it out. Oh, this shit's going to get nasty.
Is Brandy available?
This call's being recorded.
Hi, this is Bradley from MyDumpForYou.com. How are you doing today?
I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
No. Bradley from MyDumpForYou.com. Your boyfriend Luke has hired us to let you know that he's done dating you.
Who is this?
Bradley from MyDumpForYou.com. Luke's been seeing another girl at since school started, and he's using our system to tell you that it's done, that he's breaking off his relationship with you.
What?
I said Luke has been seeing a girl at since the semester started, and therefore he's breaking off his relationship with you, and he doesn't want to date you anymore. Since school started at the beginning of the semester.
But we just got together last week and we. Listen, you've got to be kidding.
No, I'm not kidding you. He basically doesn't want to go out with you anymore. He's been seeing this girl since the first week of college.
You're funny. This isn't funny.
I'm not trying to be funny, okay, Brandy? I'm trying to let you know that Luke doesn't want to date you anymore, okay? And he just wants you to know that he's going to block you on Facebook because he doesn't want you to harass him or his new girlfriend, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Okay, let me get this clear. So he's too much of a fucking pussy to call me and tell me himself?
No,
tell me himself that he cheated on me and with some other skank?
I'm not at liberty to discuss my clients like that, but he did use idumpforyou.com. He did break up with you using the service, so he didn't have to face you. He was seeing a girl.
He didn't have to face me because he's a fucking pussy.
Okay, you know, Brandy, whatever problems you have with him are your problems. All I'm supposed to do is call you up and dump you, okay? So what I'm gonna, so listen to me. So right now, I'm going to ask you, do you understand that I have broken up with you through the service idumpforyou.com and that Luke is no longer your boyfriend?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, thank you very much for using idumpforyou.com.
Okay, there were so many great parts in that. One was the acknowledgement at the end. Like, he's got to get her on record being like, okay, do you understand that you have been done? And she plays along. She's like, I do, I acknowledge that. Second of all, I can't believe she believed it, you know? I'm not sure I believe it, right? But I wouldn't just listen to some guy telling me, oh, no, my boyfriend's. I would definitely think it was a joke. And she got all emotional over that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, and he's been fucking some skank. And he's like, I'm not at liberty to discuss that. It might or might not be true that he's been fucking a skank, but I'm not at liberty to discuss what's happening there. In the beginning there when he's like, this call is being recorded. Okay, Brandy, so.
I know. So sneaky.
And then finally, my favorite part. He has blocked you on Facebook. Okay, so don't even try it. I love that that's part of breaking up now.
Oh,
You've been blocked on Facebook.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Another thing, another part of the Facebook breakup is they change their relationship status, and that's another stab in the heart.
Oh.
It goes from being in a relationship to single.
And then the block. And I guess if it was a guy who got blocked, he'd be cock blocked.
Right.
Swang, wang, wang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. So you hit me with what your thoughts on this services.
Cock.
Blocked.
I don't know. I actually, believe it or not, I'm indifferent. I don't really have an opinion about the business, okay? I would be offended if my significant other used this business to break up with me. I would hope that he would have the balls to break up with me in person, right? But look, if this guy is able to profit off this business and is able to do it successfully, more power to him.
Yeah, I would actually like this because I would think, okay, then whoever I was dating was such a loser, you know, that doesn't have the balls and if I'm dating them, I'm glad they don't have the balls. But anyway, the courage to call me up and tell me themselves, then they were such weak sauce that I'm glad we're not dating anymore.
Right.
I mean, this is as weak as it gets. I mean, unless he's a total asshole, in which case, and he's like, this will be fun. I'll rub it in her face by having I dump for you call and put it on YouTube. But it's either way, you should be lucky you're not dating him anymore. Mm-hmm. Who the hell would use the service? Then they do an interview with this guy, and at the end they ask him, would you break up with your girlfriend with this service? He's like, no. He's like, but hey, if people are going to pay me to do it, I'll do it. I mean, that's the other thing. I can't believe it's real. But they did an interview with the guy. I presume
he just has to clean up a few loose ends. Like the first questions you guys asked is, well, the person's not going to believe it. Some people will, as obviously this chick did. But some people won't believe it. You have to come with some information to verify that you know this relationship. Your boyfriend Brad, you guys been dating since this and that, la la la. You have a couple of pieces of information to verify this is the real deal. Right. Maybe he does that, I don't know, but just a couple of scraps. I can consult you. What's this guy's name?
Yeah, that's true.
Bradley Laberman.
Bradley Laberman. Jerry, it's a good point, but he mentioned the school. He mentioned her name and his name, so that probably led him. But I would always think that it was like a prank from one of the friends, a really bad prank. But man, she got all broken up over that.
Didn't it remind you a little bit of Up in the Air?
Mm-hmm.
You know how, what do you call it? George Clooney's character is hired to fire people?
Oh, right.
It kind of reminds me of that.
Oh, yeah. They think they could do a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about it. We won't even charge you. Gratis. Are we not merciful? All right. Post game, ridiculous. We'll see you there.
Check it out.